Hi, and thank you for joining me today for this tutorial on eSRAP. eSRAP is an initiative of the Methodological Development Platform of the Quebec Sport Support Unit. The goal is to help you monitor, rate, and share the latest developments in patient-oriented research. eSRAP is a collaborative research trend monitoring system for patient-oriented research. Using typical search strategies, this automated system monitors and retrieves new research abstracts as soon as they're added to bibliographic databases such as Scopus. eSRAP capitalizes on the large and rapidly growing body of scientific knowledge through crowdsourcing. In other words, more participation from active community members leads to less effort for each individual member. We hope that eSRAP will help researchers, practitioners, expert patient partners, and decision makers to stay abreast of the latest scientific publications. This could be useful for teaching activities, continuing education, and preparation of protocols and publications. There are many types of literature surveillance tools and apps. For example, table of content alerts for scientific journals or citation alerts. However, information overload and time constraints are the most common challenges associated with such tools. Due to the large number of alerts, users are required to scan many records to identify few relevant high-quality studies. In comparison, eSRAP offers multiple advantages, such as collaborative filtering of most relevant high-quality studies and user-based customization. Each component of the system can be adapted to fulfill the needs of your patient-oriented research community. On a practical level, instead of a generic list of titles, you access abstracts, which are retrieved using your domain expert's search strategy and are rated by your peers for relevance and quality. And it all happens without inundating your inbox. So how does eSRAP work? First of all, a librarian, along with subject experts or research community leaders, will develop a search strategy. It will be tested and validated and put into Scopus. At the same time, subject experts will come up with appraisal criteria, which will be used to rate research abstracts for relevance and quality. The next step, Scopus records will automatically populate eSRAP, where community members can then read and rate it. eSRAP is a free and open access system for Quebec and Canadian patient-oriented research communities. It is sponsored by the Methodological Development Platform of the Quebec Sport Support Unit and is designed by academic and industry experts in competitive intelligence and science and technology monitoring. eSRAP is still in its development phase, and that's why your user experience is so important to us. So please share your ideas, comments, and feedback by emailing us directly. So now let's visit the eSRAP platform itself and see how it works. Please follow the login instructions in your email. You will need your email address and the default password to sign in. You can change and personalize your password at a later date. Please remember that for best system performance, you will need to use Firefox or Google Chrome as your intranet browser. So to get started, we will go to the Data tab right here. Under MMR or Mixed Methods Research, we will click on the Scopus folder. The bibliographic records will populate your screen. You will see that right now, there are 2,849 records that satisfy our search strategy in Scopus for mixed methods research. You can view all bibliographic records, or you may choose to view only the latest 10. You put in 10 or any other number of your choice and click Latest. And we have a limited sample. To go back, all you have to do is click on All. For each record, you can see who are the authors, the year of publication, status, title, and retrieve date. The status column offers a quick way to identify whether the record has been rated, not rated, or finalized by the community editor. Each community has an editor who will read and reconcile all ratings. For example, for mixed methods research, it is Professor Pierre Pluy, who is a full professor here at the Department of Family Medicine at McGill University. The retrieve date identifies a batch of records added to the eSRAP system at the same time. For each column, you may sort records in a descending or an ascending order. All you have to do is hover your mouse in the corner until the arrow appears. You can then select your sort order. Right now you can see that the earliest articles appear on top. To remove sort, you go back, you click, and the sort is removed. If the columns are too small, you can enlarge them. For example, in the title, you may want to see more than just the first 2 words. So remember that everything could be moved and adjusted to make your reading easier and to fit better with your screen size. In the box below the list of articles, the abstracts appear. For example, right now, we see the abstract, but we're not sure what article it is in the table. All you have to do is click the arrow right here, and it brings you to the table. You can see which one you're reading. You also have 2 links here, to Scopus and to Google Scholar. So based on your preference, these links are to be used to export citations or to access the full text of the article. When you click on one of them, a new window will open with additional information provided either by Scopus or Google Scholar. Depending on your choice, click for a formatted citation or to import it into your bibliographic management software. So for example, if we go into Scopus, we would click here, and then we would click Export. Please remember that your access to full text articles will depend on your institutional subscription. Without a subscription, only some full text articles will be available to you. For example, those published in open access journals. After having selected a record from the table and having read the abstract, you can review it. So for example, let's go to a record that hasn't been rated. We read the abstract, we come to this screen on the right-hand side, we see it wasn't reviewed by anyone. We can start entering our own ratings. When you hover your mouse, you see the definitions. They pop up as you move along the screen. For a record that has been rated, you can choose to see the ratings of your peers. You click here, and their ratings are highlighted. You can always deselect this and do your rating blindly. In addition to answering the questions, you may enter free text notes here. When you're done, you click the Submit button. So let's do a test. Do this, we'll click Submit, and you see rating saved. You will always see this confirmation message. If the message does not pop up, something may be wrong, and please contact us. In addition to rating records, you can assign a personal tag. By using personal keywords or terms, tags, you can classify records in a way that makes sense to you and will help you find them again quickly. At this point, one record can have only one tag, but each tag can be composed of more than one word. So for example, I'm reading this article on diabetes knowledge translation, and I would like to tag it with diabetes. I go in this box and I type in diabetes. I click Tag It. I have a confirmation message that the tag has been assigned. So for example, now, if I go back, make sure I'm in all records, 2,849. I enter my tag, diabetes, and I search. I get my one record that I just tagged. To show you how it works, I can also now untag it. My record is selected. The tag is in the box here, diabetes. I click untag, and I get my confirmation message. Now, if I will do the search, our result should be 0 because we removed the tag. You can apply various filters to view a selection of rated records. This is what we will explore now. We click on Filter. This is what we get. I will collapse the menu so you see all the criteria. These are based on the coding manual and are specific to our search for mixed methods research. This part here is really based on the rating activities of your community. For example, I'm interested to see examples of mixed method studies in global health that have been finalized by the editor. In other words, all the ratings have been synthesized and reconciled. I click Apply Filter, and I get a subset of 35 records out of our total. eSRAP also allows you to search all records. The search box is here. You can enter the keyword and then click on author or title. For example, I'm interested in finding all articles that include Pierre Pluy as a co-author. I put in my term and I click author. So as you see, 7 of the articles in our total set of 2,849 records have been co-authored by Pierre Pluy. Alternatively, I will go back to all, so I make sure that I search in my entire set and I put in diabetes. I want this keyword to be present in the title. So this is what I do. This is a pretty precise search because we're not looking in the abstract. We're looking for the term diabetes in title only, and you can see that we have 29 records. To go back, you always click on all. As I mentioned, the eSRAP system is still in its beta phase, and you may encounter some performance issues. For troubleshooting advice, please consult the user manual. In addition, when you log out, you will be asked to evaluate your user experience. If you have specific comments or questions, you may enter them in the feedback box right here, and then you close your session. Thank you so much, and we truly hope that eSRAP is helpful to your research practice and you enjoy using it.